What is up, everybody? Happy Monday to you and Happy New Year to you. I was joking on Facebook. I'm like, next week is going to be March 1st, 2024, because 2023 went by so fast. It just went by so fast for me. But we are here. We are in the new year. It's 2024. And, I'm looking on Twitter or X, and obviously Epstein Island, Epstein client list, all of this stuff is just coming out about, not all of this stuff, but just the little things that the public kind of wanted to know is supposedly coming out, right? And I say supposedly because, number one, an associate list is not a client list. I have associates who are not clients, okay? And so when people keep teasing this Epstein client list, it's like, it's not a client list. I mean, unless they are dropping the flight logs, an associate list is nothing, and, you got to listen to the word choice of things. Comprehension is a prize to those who actually use it. And when you look at like a couple of weeks ago, I'm just like, okay, they're going to release this. This is great, And then someone was like, read the article. And I go in deeply with the article, and it says it's an associate list. And I think that the public is being manipulated by this revelation because, obviously they need to give the public something to be distracted with. And like I said, I think that 2024 is going to be a volatile year, and we're going to have a lot of these side chick distractions to keep us from kind of really realizing what's happening to us and around the world. So I always tell people, keep your eyes open, your ears open, and look at the patterns of things and really practice comprehension. Because I don't think that there's any room in a civil society for pedophiles. Anybody who targets, preys, abuses children, elderly people, domestic animals, they deserve to be eliminated. They deserve to be eliminated. There's no room in a civil society for them, and society should not have to fund their pathetic lives. I said this on X, and I totally believe this. There's no room in a civil society for people who prey on children at all. They should be eliminated immediately from society, and we should not be funding any care and maintenance of them. Same way with mass shooters. If they are not dead on sight, they got to get publicly executed within a very reasonable time. And I'm talking about weeks, not months. You don't deserve a trial when what you did was right in front of everybody's face. Let's just make sense. But anyways, moving on, the New Year, I didn't catch a lot of it. I was trying to look at some of the New Year celebrations. I was catching some. Nicki Minaj was performing. She at a nightclub in Miami. Cardi B was out there in Miami too. And, I think that they're always building up this tension. But I really don't think these women are really thinking about, I don't think they think about each other to the extent when they have a show, they got a performance, that they worried about what the other one is doing. Hopefully they're not. But Cardi B has been looking crazy. She's been looking just off the hinges lately. She went off on her fan base, called them slow, right? Who does that? Who insults the intelligence of their fan base? I think she lost about 200K people because of that. But then you turn around and say, oh, I love you guys. It must be Stockholm Syndrome. And it's like, first of all, Stockholm Syndrome would mean that you're abusive. You're abusive. You beat your people and then you give them flowers. That's what Stockholm Syndrome is, Cardi. So for people to support these artists, buy their work, and then communicate to their fans like that, to me, we are at a whole new evil in society. Because what artist would take a moment to insult their fans? First of all, some artists should just stay off the internet, because the internet is not a good place for somebody who's trying to focus on their greatness and they have criticism all over the place. You're going to have haters. There are people who just come out and they insult you just because they want to and they can. Like we live in that world where people are just rude because they hate themselves. They have no control over their lives. So they just want to make somebody else's day look is bad. And, you know, we have people like that. And that's why a lot of these stars and celebrity, they show their maturity when they not just on the internet, just going back and forth with these fans, these irrelevants. It's like, Cardi, your net worth is $80 million. How do you even have time? Like, these people insulting you are likely beneath you, at least financially. I wouldn't say character-wise. You know, she's not very rich in character and intelligence, but she's rich nonetheless because her goofiness has been able to pull off what the establishment needed, which is like, hey, just go promote ignorance and whoredom. Is that even a word? But hoe culture. Like, that's basically what Cardi is being propped up to do. You know, we'll give you a Grammy if you go out and obsessively promote hoe culture. And sometimes you may have to leverage your marriage to do that, right? And that's another thing. It's like her and Offset out New Year's Eve. I love to see marriages working out. I love to see men and women working out their differences. What I don't love to see is when you have a woman going on a rant and a tangent, not even like about a week ago, about her husband being ain't shit, ain't this, ain't this. You just on the internet talking about, I can't talk to you, so I got to go to the internet. And then you mad because you're taking your business to the streets, and then you going to ask the streets not to say anything about your business. I just need you to listen to my rants. It's like, girl, bye. Go sit down somewhere with that. Go make some music. Like, she shouldn't be in the music, and she should not be in the hip hop space. She shouldn't even be in the music industry, period. She really just needs to be a social media influencer and just call it a day. Because when it comes to organic talent, they are going to have to continue to put in a lot of money just to get their return on investment with Cardi. And it's starting not to be worth it, especially now that you have a work like Pink Friday 2 out in the female rock space. She is not about to match that album. If only way for Cardi B to match Pink Friday 2 is if they do what they've been doing since they propped her up in the industry, and that is just put a crap ton of money on Cardi to make it seem like she's better than Nicki Minaj. That's basically what it is. And I'm sure Atlantic is like, okay, we're not getting an ROI. And a lot of these brand deals, I don't even think if she doesn't have a better 2024, she's not going to have the brand deals that she has right now. Because it's like, if you can't sell your own music, how are you going to convince people to buy our products? Help us sell our products. Makes sense. But off of that, you know, update on my last video. There's more information or more clarity, I would say, that has come out about the DJ Academics video. There's a video circulating around, and it was a conflation of, I believe, situations. And so Academics did a story time in which he talked about one of his girlfriends supposedly cheating or having sex with a bunch of his friends. Like, he tells the story during his story time, but he was telling the story in connection to his recent girlfriend who was caught up in a raid involving that particular allegation. So this story time, he was trying to basically make himself look like a victim of a recent girlfriend. But when he was telling the story impacted the young lady who he mentioned had sex with all of his friends. She came out and she basically said, no, I didn't have sex with all your friends. Your friends raped me and you did too. And it seemed like she was very hurt. You know, you look at how people deliver certain things, their body language, their tone, and you can see if somebody is genuine or not, or if they are, if they're, nonchalant or whatever. This girl seemed like she was very hurt that this conversation was coming up. And I don't think that it was academics' intention to reignite any unsettled feelings that she may have had about their last encounter, but he did that. And she revealed a different side of the story. Now, according to academics, and I think it's very important for us to say that it's 2024 now, and according to him, there have been no charges filed against anybody in connection to that young lady's allegations. Supposedly there was a rape kit done according to her, but nothing was, it seemingly, it didn't seem like anything was really pursued because they raided his house in connection with these allegations, and then nothing ended up happening to him or his friends. And so I think it's valid to note that, but at the same time, that's what he's saying, and we don't know if there's any pending charges. We don't know if there's any pending charges. If she said that I've been quiet for almost 2 years, right, then this happened somewhere around 2021. Obviously a lot of the courts were catching up with COVID, delayed COVID cases. So the legal system was catching up because a lot of things were shut down. So who knows, if something may come out of this or new revelations. What I want to note, though, is that academics said something, which I think these celebrities are just so dumb for opening their mouths in connection to anything that may have legal proceedings, but whatever. But he was revealing the text messages between him and this young lady. And when you listen to her line of questioning with academics, it seems like she was not confident or sure that what he claimed transpired. And it sounds like in her line of questioning, it wasn't about regret. It really was about maybe she really did not recall. And that is an indication that somebody may have been drugged. And I don't want to count that out because when you are when you are drugged, you don't really have a lot of control. You are in a state of inebriation, whether obviously we want to avoid getting ourselves in that state, but it happens. And it sounds like to me, and you can stage if a woman is inebriated, it's nothing for two guys to take advantage of her and appear as though she's a willful participant. And what really kind of triggered me was he sent her a screenshot of her and these guys. And a screenshot doesn't reveal everything that happens. You can assume a lot from a screenshot. That's why a screenshot is equivalent to a picture being worth 1,000 words. I would be interested in the video and seeing if she was actually a willful participant or if she appeared to be inebriated, where she wasn't really, her consciousness was not really there. And that really matters. So this is an interesting situation. I'm not on a jump on believe academics side. I don't, believe that you should believe all women, but there are certain aspects of this situation that should be considered. And I think academics might want to shut up about it.